Every real estate journey is unique. That's why we created the AOF Real Estate Team, a full-service solution built to support you at every stage. Whether you're building wealth through strategic investments, need hassle-free property management, or want to maximize your sale price as a Scott McGilvery trusted team, we've assembled all key services under one roof. First-time buyer or seasoned investor, our dedicated client success team ensures your experience is seamless from start to finish. At AOF, we make real estate simple, profitable, and stress-free. The AOF Real Estate Team, your journey, our expertise.
All right, everyone, thank you for joining us. This is the AOF Monthly Update. My name is Kellen. I've got Alonna, Drew, Spencer with me today. Everyone, how are we doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Doing great.
All right. Well,
living the dream.
Living the dream. All right. Let's might as well dive right into it. Alonna, I know you're a statistician on the team here. So what are we seeing in the market here stats wise?
Right. Awesome. Thanks, Kellen. Happy to provide stats. Well, not so much stats as just tell you stories that homes are still selling. Buyers are getting picky. So if you are a seller and you need to sell in today's market, you want to sell your home, it's still a good time to sell. Price it right, you'll win. With rising inventory and days on the market increasing slightly, but not that much in comparison to last year, preparation matters a lot when you're selling your home. So make sure it's properly staged, it's clean, it's priced well. And if you happen to be a buyer in today's market, there is a lot less competition for you and more inventory to pick from. So you finally have a little bit more room to negotiate. When we are looking at different property types, condos and townhomes are softening. So it's a great chance to get into the market and expand your portfolio or buy one of these, condo or a townhouse if you're in the market to buy. And that's the market update.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I'm Drew, Spence. I know you guys a little more time in the resale side as well. Like, are you seeing kind of along the same lines working with buyers, sellers? Just, patience for a lot of buyers might actually benefit in being able to find that right opportunity. But if you do find the right one and it's priced right, there's probably some competition that you're working with there.
I think that Alonna hit the nail on the head with exactly what's going on in the market right now. Buyers do have some choice. They got a little bit of extra time to take and make a decision on a house or a property of their choice. For sellers, now is the time to be strategic. I know we touched on it last month, but it's more than ever. I'm talking photos. I'm talking where you're marketing your property. We've put so much effort in the last couple of months just into how can we revamp our marketing, everything about our marketing, diving into photography, videography, what's getting the most clicks, what's getting the most click-throughs, and just really diving into the details of what's going on. I'm pretty excited about some of the stuff we've come up with and where we're headed with that. Just adding a bunch of extra value to our listing clients as well. And buyers, I'm seeing that again, they've got some choice. There's a lot more listings. I think that 15% higher number of houses listed this year from last year.
Yeah.
So we do have some extra choice, and just now's the time when the smart buyers are out for sure.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I was going to say, Spence, too. I know we were just chatting beforehand, kind of trying to do some valuation even just on what has maybe led to. I'm looking at the stats like year over year, we're seeing more of those listings, but from month over month, it is down. But I know from just experiences, even from working in the new construction space, that a lot of builders, I think I don't want to get the number wrong, but permits were up an exorbitant amount this year compared to last year. So there's probably some standing inventory for some of the builders that are looking to move some of their single family homes that have, before their year end comes to close here. This cycle in the market isn't just on the resale side. It is also in the new construction side, that as we do shift into the winter months, they typically are slower. However, that is a good opportunity for those buyers to take advantage. And like I said, on the seller side, you just have to be strategic, as Drew mentioned. So I know we talk about that often.
Well, and I suspect, like, when the market was the way it was earlier this spring, where, houses were selling in a matter of hours and, that type of thing, it does open more people up to that, new construction, where the timelines are going to be longer, but, you're not overpaying. You're not, in a very stressful situation trying to buy something. There's a lot more lead time to it and that type of thing, right? So, I would suspect that some of these people have moved from kind of the resale market to the new construction market. That's why we've seen a bit of a softening in sales.
Yeah. Well, hey, think about it this way too. For new construction, you make a commitment right now with a 6 to 8 month building timeline, especially on the investor side of things. You're going to have leases coming up in that spring, summer months. So the easiest turnaround timelines too. So, hey, if there's an opportunity right now, out there on the market, that might line up really nicely for, stabilization and taking on that project once it closes to get it leased up. So that was always, I remember in the show, people that were buying around this time, moving in the summer months into the fall. You connect house shopping with, I don't want to move in the winter, but for pre-construction or new construction with those timelines, as you're alluding to, Spence, too, like, hey, you might be moving when the snow has already come and gone.
That's right. Yep.
So,
Spencer, you bring up another good point too. And when you talk about people moving into new construction from resale, we're also seeing a major shift of investors going to multifamily from single family homes, more of a traditional type of investment. And I believe it's because of the MLI Select program that's been out for the last couple of years. It's more widely understood now, and the application of it across the board with multifamily properties, not just with new construction, but with resale construction as well, or resale sales as well. And I know you've seen it, both you, Spencer and Alonna, you've seen it in Edmonton, where we've got next to nothing for inventory on multifamily properties. I mean, that's why this new construction is so attractive to a lot of buyers right now, because it is off market and we do still have access to things. Whereas the resale side of things, there's hardly anything that's good out there.
Well, there's really nothing, right? And when it comes up, it sells awfully quick. So
I drew out in Wabamun for looking at some project there. So, trying to find those opportunities where you can, but that's where, I think over the years we've established ourselves with especially the experience in that new construction space. And, as much of the MLI Select program that we've assisted investors with going through that process, as the program has been refined this year, it saw more, I'll just use the same word again, revisions or refinements this year than we'd experienced since the inception in 2022. But yeah, that doesn't limit how accessible it is for a lot of people and how beneficial it works out with the strategy of kind of that long-term buy and hold. And again, we've mentioned this in multiple meetings before too. It may not be the best fit for everybody. There are still opportunities that may align better with kind of those single family homes. Drew, you just had an investor that closed on 3 of those kinds of different styles. Like we're seeing evolution in the floor plans too. That's something that over the years, improvements based on feedback from tenants, from property management companies, from our own team, from investors, that again, we're really taking all of that feedback to help create these projects that are better alignment with what investors, not only what the investors need, but then also the end user, which is going to be that tenant, looking for that long-term tenant, wanting them to stay there, enjoy the lifestyle that they have in that property. So yeah, lots of feedback that kind of has helped create those opportunities. Spence, I know you were mentioning just kind of offline before we jumped on, just some feedback too, not only just when we're talking about what's going on in the market on the resale side and acquisition and selling of real estate, but then also on kind of that property management side and the rental side. And just a statistic that, some people may be hearing rumblings of the opposite of this, but it's always it's always interesting. This is why we're the boots on the ground resource, right? This is what our team is experiencing. So,
yeah, for sure. I've kind of taken the opportunity in the last little while to help out our property management team a little bit, and part of it is I want to see what's going on in the market too, right? It's a lot easier to give people good advice and give people information when you're, when it's right in front of you. So, I've been helping out the property management team a little bit. I set up some ads for, well, really, and one ad for, one property in one neighborhood on one street. And, that listing was set up on November 3rd. And since that time, it's been viewed 2,543 times.
Yeah.
So, that goes to show you there's still an awful lot of people looking for rental properties in Edmonton, right? Again, it's one listing on one property in one street. So,
and that's how much interest you got in 12
2
days?
weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah. So it's 183 views a day.
It's huge.
Yeah. So, and there's an awful lot of showings being set up for it as well, right? So,
yeah.
It's, it goes to show you, we're going into the slowest time of the year to rent properties, the whole bit, but still nearly 200 people a day looking at the listings, and 3, 4, 5, 6 people a day viewing them. So.
We've talked lots about the
still
migration
very busy.
and population growth. And what was the stat? 125,000 this year, just to Edmonton, was it? Or was that Alberta?
Yeah. Well, according to ATB Financial, for the year ending July 1st, so, July 1st to July 1st, ending 2025, July 1st, 2025, there was 120,316 people moved to Alberta. So, probably a third of those are to Edmonton, a third are to Calgary, and a third are to everywhere else in the province, right? So, somewhere in the range of 40,000 people, move to Edmonton. So you're going to need 15 to 20,000 homes for these people to move into, right? So it's there's still an awful lot of demand out there.
Yeah,
and I can add to that too that in my own portfolio that where we purchase properties like 8 plexes brand new and 6 plexes with financial partners. Out of 3 projects that we purchased, 2 were purchased or we took possession in January and February, and both properties were completely fully tenanted within 30 days after taking possession. So even we always say that rental market slows down, resale market slows down in Edmonton for winter time, but people are still moving. They still need places to live, and with a good strategy, well-positioned properties, you can still find good renters. And it's not like you're taking on bad, people who are not pre-screened, but you're really screening your tenants even in winter months, and you can find good people.
Yeah.
Well, that's half the battle, right? If you have desirable properties that people want to live in, it doesn't really matter when they come up for rent. People will want to live in them, right? So and that's where having these hand-selected, well vetted properties that we offer. That's where they're very beneficial to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
good properties attract good people.
Exactly.
Right.
Location.
But it's, guys, properties is only half the story too, right? That's who is on your team. Who is that boots on the ground? Who is your property manager? How are they jumping on showings? Like what Spencer is taking a look at all those ads and responding very quickly to people. Like all of that matters. It's a package. It's not just, if you buy a brand new property in a great location, it's going to rent it on its own. You need to have a strategy approach for dealing with that.
Such a good point. And a lot of investors, what I hear from them is that their property manager is batching showings to 1 day a week and kind of stuff like that. And you're losing out on a lion's share of tenants. If you're not showing when the tenants want to look at it, they're going to move on to somebody else who's willing to show it when they want to see it.
Yeah.
Like such a small detail, but such an important small detail.
Mm-hmm.
Strategy.
Good point.
Boots on the ground team.
It's all about strategy.
Have we talked about that before? But yeah, no, I think, and even just, 'tis the season to be looking even towards next year for existing investors as well. Like this is where kind of taking a look at and evaluating the performance of your properties to see what is happening, how, put ourselves under the microscope as well. Like, we will be able to provide the feedback, when brought to the table of that conversation. But this is a good time to think about whether, you're in a holding pattern on a property, whether you're looking to acquire a new project. Like, doesn't need to be per se a call to action conversation. Like, okay, we need to sell now or you need to buy now, but like, to do an evaluation. And that's something that all the members of our team have a lot of experience in, is just trying to ask the right questions to get the right numbers and create some strategy around that. That's something that I know we all thoroughly enjoy doing as well, because we've done it for a long time. But it's one of those things that, take a look at the numbers, think about the performance, think about what you can maybe shift, change, do next year, or now. Sometimes waiting 60 days is too long. Just take a look at things right now and connect with the team.
You bring up a good point, Kellen, and it's not a one size fits all for anybody out there. Every situation is unique. We're talking a lot of moving parts with mortgage renewals, mortgage maturity. We're talking about tenant leases, in some cases up and down suites with 2 different lease dates. Obviously, that's by design. But if you're in the middle of your lease and you need to sell right now, we have other tools to help people with listings. And if you've just signed a new lease with somebody and you don't want to put it on the open market, we do have ways to sell properties that won't interrupt your tenant's everyday life. And it's just have that conversation with somebody who understands those tools, who understands the market. Somebody from the AOF real estate team. We have all the tools in our tool belt to help you with those situations.
Yeah. Agree. Love it. Thank you, Drew. So I don't think we had anything else to really touch on right now. Going through the stats, talking about the market in general. Reach out to the team. Like I said, it's not just about the acquisition and the disposition side. Like, if it is strategy, planning for the future, or looking to do something now, we're phone call, email, text away, and can always be available to help with your journey on the real estate investing and just real estate in general approach. So, all right. If that's it, thank you, Drew, Alonna, Spencer. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks,
and
guys.
we'll see you again next month.
Sounds good. Bye.
See you later.
1, 2, 3. Everyone's got the recipe. Simple as can be. Trust in us and you will see. We make real estate easy. So easy, believe it. We're here to serve, give you what you deserve. All under one roof, that's our proof. It's still the last one.